Hey, Alan here for Old English Outfitters. Colt back in the days, right? We refer to history as the day, right? Their Snake Series guns were always extremely popular. The Pythons, Diamondbacks, those types of guns, all named after snakes. And then in later years, they came up with one they called the Viper. Well, as we know, they have brought the Snake Series back, right? We have Pythons. We don't have the Diamondback yet, but we have Pythons. We have King Cobras. We have the big 44 Magnum. And now we have the Viper. The Viper is chambered in 357 Magnum. Now, if you look at it, it looks a little bit like the King Cobra. That's because it kind of is the King Cobra with a couple little adjustments. Actually, the manual that comes with this says it's for the King Cobra because fundamentally, basically, it's the same gun. The King Cobra, of course, has a full-length shroud, ejector rod shroud. This doesn't, shorter. I like this. I like that look. I really like that better than I do the full length. And then the King Cobra has the gold bead front sight. This just has a plain black ramp. The action and action size and everything is pretty much a King Cobra. Very nice, nicely sculpted, good-looking wood grips on this gun. Construction is all stainless steel. It is a 6-shot, typical double-action revolver, right? Transfer bar internal. You can cock it. You can pull the trigger straight through. Like all the other Colts, the action on this is extremely smooth. Really, really nicely done. Shooting this. Now, we put one full cylinder of some pretty hot 357s through it. And actually, it handled them pretty well and really was not uncontrollable. The rest of the stuff we shot was 38 specials because some of those 357s, one of them kind of stuck on us a little bit. Not the fault of the gun, just the ammo, so we didn't want to get one hung up and not be able to continue with our review. If I were carrying this as a defense gun, I think I might steer towards a hotter 38 special, maybe not a full power Magnum. Barrel on this, by the way, is 3 inches, which is pretty good. It's not a real terribly heavy gun. I don't know exactly how many ounces it weighs. 22 or 3, I suppose, somewhere in that ballpark. So it's not super heavy, not super light either. It's not like one of the 12-ounce alloy frame guns. The whole thing is stainless steel, so you got some weight there, and that's good. You can appreciate the weight when you shoot something that's heavier. The only issue I noticed shooting it was, for me, that grip sets right, the back of the trigger guard sits right against my middle finger there. And it did kind of start to make my middle finger a little sore the more we shot it, just because it's recoiling right there. Is that a huge issue? Not so much, really. I mean, it wasn't like it was, oh crap, that really hurts. No, it didn't really. It just, you can feel it, right? No big deal. A set of rubber grips or a different grip shape would probably cure that problem with no big issue. Being a Colt, the cylinder latch pulls back so you can rotate the cylinder out. As you know, Rugers push in, Smith & Wessons push forward, Colts push straight back. That's not a big deal. Once you know what you're doing with that, it's no problem at all. Because the exposed hammer, again, you can cock it, single action, very smooth. Sights look like they're pretty well regulated. Didn't try to put it on paper, didn't try to shoot a group with it, but it seemed to shoot quite where I was hitting on the steel we were shooting at. Looked like we were pretty close there, so not too concerned about that. Something I like that they did with this, and I mentioned before, I'm going to mention it again. I like this look. I like it looks like some of the older revolvers of yesteryear, which have always appealed. They just look nice, right? They have an elegance to them. And I like that. I like that shortened ejector rod shroud. The rear sight, by the way, I should mention, is just the usual trough that's in the back of guns like this. And that's perfectly fine. It's very serviceable, and you don't have anything sticking up here that you're going to bash, crash, break, or knock out of whack. Nothing's going to happen there. Something else I like about what they did with this. We've all seen the guns today that they got writing splashed all over them. Warnings and read the manual and all this kind of stuff. You don't really notice much on this. There is some stuff on it. We got a QR code over there in the corner because we live in the days of computers. Like it or not, we do. There's the QR code. Serial number's over there. On this side, it's got some very, very understated writing on the barrel, Colt's Manufacturing. It's got Colt Viper. It states the caliber over here on this side. But all of it's very clean. It doesn't just glare at you. It looks like a good serviceable gun, not a billboard. So, the Colt Viper, the newest one out in the snake line, 357 Magnum 3-inch barrel wood grips, very nice revolver. If you were looking for something in this line for a carry piece, and you want to just maybe save a couple bucks over like the King Cobras and you don't need some of the other bells and whistles, this would be a great choice. Excellent sights for the purpose, excellent trigger action, good gun. The Colt Viper. That is what we have for today. Thank you very much for watching. We appreciate it greatly, and we'll see you next time. I'm Alan for Old English Outfitters.